back to my channel. So you might remember that about 1.5 months ago I had a video letting you know that I was going to be moving toward using Castile soap as an alternative to conventional shampoo. And I let you know the kind of reasons why I was doing that, but generally what I'm doing with this channel is to see how I can live more sustainably. And one of these ways is just to use products like Castile shampoo, which have less impact because they use less chemicals and they're fully biodegradable. But if you want to know more about the reasons why I moved to Castile soap, then feel free to look at my previous video, which I'll leave in the description for you. But today what I'm doing is I'm letting you know how I've been getting on with that in the first 1.5 months. And so let's just get started on that. When I first started washing with Castile soap, I thought it was just going to be a direct replacement for my conventional shampoos. So I thought I was just going to be washing with it every day the way that I was using my conventional shampoos. But what I actually noticed almost straight away when I started using it was that it was less drying from my scalp and my hair. And what this means is that my scalp started to produce less oils the way that it used to when I was using conventional shampoo. Now, this is something that I actually came across in the forums that I was reading before I made this change. But for whatever reason, I didn't think that this would happen so quickly for me, but it did. So what I've done is I've actually started recording the days on which I have been needing to wash with Castile soap. And I've got this chart for you which shows that this gap between the washes has just been increasing and increasing. Now, I'm at the point where I can go about a week or maybe a little bit more without needing to wash with the Castile soap. But this doesn't mean that I'm leaving my hair dirty. On the in-between days, what I've been doing is I've been rinsing with the acidic rinse, which I bought along with the shampoo, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But my hair hasn't been dirty, it just feels a lot healthier, it's a lot less dry. And what I actually noticed was that before, when I was using conventional shampoo, after my shower, my face was dry as well. So just for conventional shampoo washing over my face was enough to dry it, enough so that I would need to use some kind of moisturizer for it. But this problem has completely gone away and I'm no longer needing to use conditioners for my hair either. It just feels a lot healthier. So this means that I'm cutting out the conditioners, I'm cutting out the moisturizers, plus my hair feels a lot healthier. So for me, it's just a big win-win. It's a massive, massive benefit that I'm feeling from using Castile soap. One point I would like to make for any of you who are thinking of having this kind of hair washing routine is that if you're using kind of conventional hairstyling products, then I just don't think that will work with it. So these kind of products, they're just going to stay in your hair between the washes with the Castile shampoo. It's just going to gunk up your hair. And I just don't see how that would work. So that's one thing to keep in mind. However, I would say that because my hair has felt so much more healthy and so much more thick after starting to wash with Castile, I actually don't feel the need for this anymore. So I used to use this for many, many years before I started washing with Castile. And because my hair feels a lot healthier, I actually don't miss it as much as I thought I would. But anyway, that's one thing to keep in mind. If you are washing with Castile, there's actually two parts to the process. The first of those is the actual Castile soap itself. So I bought the bar soap from a company called Dr. Bronner's, and the second part that you need to be aware of is what people call an acidic rinse. So I think I kind of explained this in my first video about Castile soap, but because it's an alkali, what that means is once you wash your hair with it, it actually lifts up the top layer of your hair. And to combat that, you need something like this. It's just an acidic rinse, which once you put that through your hair, it lets your cuticles go back down and leaves your hair nice and smooth. So you just need to be aware that you can't just wash with a Castile soap, otherwise it will leave your cuticles up and then that might dry out your hair. So as you might have picked up from that chart I had earlier, I have these days when I actually wash with the Castile soap, and then I have these in-between days when I'm not washing with Castile soap. And I just want to let you know exactly what I'm doing on those two types of days. So to start off, on the days when I'm washing with Castile, what I first do is I rinse my hair through with the acidic rinse. And then afterwards, when I'm washing with the Castile soap, what this does is it just makes it a little bit easier to get the soap all the way through the hair. Because otherwise, if you wash just straight away with the Castile soap, it starts to lift up your cuticles and that makes it a little bit difficult to get the soap all the way through. So first I rinse with this, then the Castile soap, and then afterwards I once again rinse with this. And then on the in-between days, as you might imagine, I am simply just rinsing with this or water, depending on how my hair is feeling that day. Let's say I've been at work, and because I work in a cafe, there's a lot of coffee dust in the air. Just to get that out of my hair, what I'll do is I'll definitely wash with this just to get that out. And although this is not as cleansing as the Castile soap, it still has the ability to get a little bit of oil and a little bit of dirt out of your hair. So it really does a good job. The Castile soap itself is quite self-explanatory, but the acidic rinse that I have, it needs to be diluted in water. So what I got for this was the base of a 2-litre water bottle that was going to go into recycling anyway. So I took that and I repurposed it as a tray for the soap when I'm not using the soap. And then when I'm in the shower, I can use it for diluting the acidic rinse. So what I found to be a good dilution is if I just fill up the base of this water bottle up to almost the top, and then I use about a cap of this acidic rinse, then it works out quite well for me. What I particularly like about having the bottom of this 2-litre bottle as the tray for the soap is that it functions perfectly well as the tray, but it also functions perfectly well as the mixing basin for the acidic rinse. And what it means is I just have less items in my life. I don't need to buy the separate tray for the soap and also possibly have a bottle for mixing the acidic rinse in. And through that, I'm having less impact by buying less materials. Just towards the end of this video, I want to look at the ways that I could make my hair wash routine even more sustainable. And one point I'd like to make is that with my current routine, I'm getting through one of these bottles about every month. And although you have similar kind of levels of waste when you use conventional shampoos, I really would like to get away from having to have a plastic bottle thrown into the recycling every month. And one way to do this is that some people use apple cider vinegar instead of a product like this. And what that means is you can generally find a larger bottle, or maybe you can even find bulk supply of the apple cider vinegar as an alternative to a rinse like this. So what that would mean is then you've got less associated waste with your acidic rinse. As for the Castile soap itself, that just comes in a really thin paper packaging, so I'm not so worried about that at this stage of the process. It's more this that I'm keeping an eye on. But I would like to say that a product like this has made it so much easier to transition to this kind of hair wash routine. And now I know that the things that I'm washing down the drain are completely safe and completely biodegradable, and that can't be said for conventional shampoos and conventional conditioners. So that's what I'm really happy about, and that's been the main way that this has helped me have less impact. Alright, just to summarise today, I think I've had a really positive first month and a half using Castile soap as shampoo, and although it's been a transition period, I already see the benefits. So my hair feels a lot healthier, my scalp is less oily, and I need to wash less often without my hair getting dirty. So I've been really happy, and I know that the things that I'm putting down the drain are completely safe and completely biodegradable. So if any of you are interested, feel free to look into it for yourself. I can really recommend it. It's been surprisingly easy for me so far. And in the future, I'm just going to keep you updated with any ways that I'm making my hair wash routine more sustainable. But until my next video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you then.